Hello, everyone. Welcome to the After Church Tea Time. We're very happy to be with you today to discuss the sermon that Renato just gave on persistence. I'm here today with Kiran and Stephanie and Fabian. And yeah, we're gonna spend some time together, like see how we feel about the sermon and the service and kind of share our insights on what was what we noticed. And yeah, so anyone wants to begin?
Yeah, it's always cool to hang out after church and have some tea together. And, when someone is watching us here on Facebook or YouTube, it's always cool to have a conversation going about today's message. And I think we have a really amazing topic today, persistence. And I'm happy to really talk about it and to share maybe some experiences on that here. And I guess like the feeling I really received, to kind of start with, is safety. That there's a process, that there is a skill and energy that moves me through the tough times, through the difficult times, through the challenges. And so when there's something that I'm pushing against, that is like, there seems to be a wall or something, persistence is what moves me through to my goals, and yeah, that was a beautiful sermon and a very peaceful one as well.
Amen. That's so true. Yeah, I really enjoyed the sermon and how the message, Alexandra and Lorenzo also really hit the point home and helped us to introduce persistence and then helped us to integrate it. And, I love coming to after church tea time to continue that integration process and go a little deeper. And I hope to learn some from you guys too, to help me go deeper with it. But I really loved what you said, Fabian, about how persistence there's a safety there, and to know that you're safe to be persistent even when times are heavy and hard. I liked what Renato said about that as well, is how it is the next step. And even if it feels really like if there's a lot of resistance there, it's safe to let that go and move forward and know that God has like the next stepping stone, even if you don't see it, even if it's kind of invisible on the outside, whether that be in your twin flame union or in your financial situation or even in your job. And I thought that was really brilliant and a cool visual for me to see that.
Yeah. So true, and it reminds me of a class, a TFAS class that I watched a few days ago, where Jeff was helping a student by saying that she was in her head too much and that she wasn't allowing the miracles to come through and the insights to download because she wasn't in her heart. And it was about like, your mind is very intelligent, but it has limits. Like sometimes it feels like things are impossible, there are impossible situations, and it gets scared and it backtracks and it wants to give up. Whereas your heart is a direct connection to God. And it's like 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times more intelligent than what your brain can do every day. And so you have to trust your heart, you have to go back to your heart always. And that's when I really grounded it to the fact that, you know, you can have courage in life, like you can say that you are never giving up, like, but true persistence, like true courage, comes from really listening to your heart, really listening to God in your heart, really following Him, like step by step, even when it looks like nothing, even when it looks like shit, like, and yeah. So I really liked what Renata said about this, and what it showed about, like, you know, like, I was so confident, like, I'm gonna have my dream, I'm gonna have my dream house, I'm gonna be where I want to be, no matter what it takes. And it's actually simple. You just have to be with God there.
You're so right about, you know, the mind and the heart, and trying to lead your life through the mind is so limited, right? And I just, like, when you were sharing that, I realized, like, I feel like the only way that you could give up on yourself and not persist is if you're living in your mind, because you can't figure out the next step. That's so true. You can't. And so, like, persistence feels like you're killing yourself. But when you're in your heart and you persist and you feel through your feelings, like Renato was sharing in the sermon today, and you just have to feel the next piece, and like the next piece will always be there for you, and God will catch you. And then persistence becomes your strength, and it reveals to you. And I think that's something that Renato said too that was really beautiful. I feel like he was like hinting to the fact that the more you persist, the more your own strength is revealed to you. And it's, you know, you're building that with God and within yourself. Yeah, so I think that's really cool. I think some people may not persist or may not want to step forward, and perhaps it's because, like you said, they feel limited because they're trying to live their life through their mind instead of their feeling space, their heart.
Yeah, you're right on. And yeah, I wanted to say something about this, like, yeah, the only way is through. The only way is through an upset. The only way is through feeling your emotions, and also, like, it's not our job to plan the next steps. Not really. They are just, like, revealed to us. And God, like, is 1,000 steps ahead, and it's safe to trust that. And the only persistence that we need to have is through growing our relationship with Him and choosing life, like making choices of love, basically.
It's important to let go of the control and to release the expectation we can have, because it's that's the problem. It's the expectation you have about the situation, about how the thing should be, how it should, you know, it should become, and that's the problem. That's the control you put over the situation that, like, make you feel super bad. Because in fact, if you really focus on the step you have to take, well, it's just one step. It's super easy. You don't have to figure out the next one and next or something after. No, you just focus on right now in the present moment. There's just one thing you need to do, and it's perfect. And it's what you should focus on. That's what Maite was saying in the reading also, that it's okay if it's baby step, if it's look like it's nothing, that you go nowhere, that you don't move forward. Well, you still move forward. Even if you don't have the feeling it's like a big giant step, well, it's a tiny step, but that's enough, because that's where you are now. It's important to honor that and to respect that, and to don't, like, try to push to move forward faster or something, because it's not working. It can't work. It's not possible. It works only if you control it. But if you control, you're not going to have what you desire. It will not be permanent. It's not what we are doing here. You can do with your mind and control and have that temporary, well, when it's done, it's done. You have to rebuild again. That's not really nice. It took so many effort for nothing. So that's why it's more nice to put a lot of effort, but in something that it's forever, like our harmonious union. We heal that. That's forever. You don't have to rebuild that every time, every lifetime of something. That's done now. We healed that.
So was the persistence worth it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I watched a class on that like 2 days ago where Jeff was talking to Stephanie, about you have never to abandon your heart there. You can always remain in your heart space, no matter what happens. And, this really shows what persistence means, is that you will always remain connected to life, to that feeling, to that energy that you are experiencing. You never have to leave it and separate yourself and go in your corner. You can really surf the wave and move through the energies as they arrive in your life.
Yeah. You never have to leave your peace, or no matter what happens. Yeah. And I love that. I also love that I'm learning about that now, and I realize like a lot of things that we are learning on the Ascension journey. It's not like innate to our education, like how we were brought up. Like we were never taught that, but it's really key. It's really important, and it's really helped me on my twin flame journey. We're not always talking about this twin flame journey, and like looking at mine, I realized like at the beginning, I was like, and until recently, I was like, yeah, I need to do that, or I need to be that. I need to accomplish a certain amount of thing to be with my twin flame. And yeah, even though it looked good on the outside, it was not the way. Like the way is always to live for yourself, as you said. And yeah, to really appreciate life, cultivate harmonious union in your heart. And that feels so peaceful and relaxing. And I'm like, oh, I don't need to be anything anything else but what I'm living right now to have my harmonious union. I don't need to do anything. I don't need to accomplish anything for anyone else. And also it frees me from the illusion of what I thought I was, because like I was accomplishing things because I thought I was this person. But in being relaxed, and in persisting in loving myself, I persist in discovering how my divinity expresses into the world. And sometimes it doesn't have anything to do with how I started in life or how I was a few years ago. And it's really beautiful.
Yeah, I feel like we've done a really good job of sharing this perspective of persistence of, it's the next step, clearly peaceful. But I also want to talk about persistence when things seem really like scary or hard. I mean, we've talked about the resistance, and if things look hard, of course, only the next step is required. But I want to share about how some of the hardest times in my own journey to move forward, the ones that required the most persistence for me were the ones that I was really facing my deepest fears. And it called me to love completely. And for me, to love completely is the persistence, to persist in love. So like, I love that you said this a little bit earlier, Fabian, about how pulling from the TFAS class where Jeff mentioned to stay in your heart space. Well, a lot of times on our journey, and our twin flame will mirror things to us when, and also in our life purpose as well. Of course, this is the Church of Union. So it's not only about twin flames, it's about union with God everywhere, right? So anywhere in your life, things are going to come up. Old heavy feelings, old maybe scary experiences that you were very hurt before. And as you choose to heal, those things will step forward. And you must persist through them. It's part of the journey. And it's one of the reasons why persistence is one of the pillars of harmonious union. So especially in your union, because your twin flame is your ultimate mirror, all your old hurts are going to come up. They're going to come looking at you in the face, and you still must love completely. Even if you're really pissed off, even if it feels really disrespectful or whatever it may be. I'm sure I've done things that have felt really disrespectful to you. I've definitely received that on the other end. But this is a safe container to love completely. And anything in your life any relationship that you're committed to is a safe container to love completely. You must always love completely and persist in that. And so sometimes that looked like when I trigger someone and they blow up. I have to stay in my heart. I have to stay in that mercy, in that like Fabian, like you mentioned in the class, staying in the heart space, stay in peace, not let the things around me pull me from that. So I must persist in my peace and love completely in that space. And for me, on my journey, that was always like one of the hardest things that it taught me my strength in that place, how big my heart is and how powerful God's peace is for me. And I every time that I faced something like that, I afterwards, after I came out the other side and I was like, whoa, I just felt like I walked through a storm. It felt like I had freed myself, in my heart space from fear, which this is I just wanted to share this specifically because this is on my journey, my hardest piece to persist through. So I hope if other people are going through really heavy things as well, perhaps trauma healing, that maybe they would resonate. But yeah, at the other end of the persistence, you do break through. Every breakdown is a breakthrough, and you receive freedom in that space, freedom from fear, which is my absolute greatest gifts that I've received on my journey.
Thank you for sharing that beautiful story and experience. Yeah, it had me really thinking about that challenging situations can be, joyful in a way, or at least peaceful. And there's always this underlying current of peace, of lightness, of joy. And when you are practicing the mirror exercise, you are always in touch with that good energy, and you're pointing it to the challenging energy, basically, right? And you can always be in that flow, in that zone where you point the good, juicy, peaceful energy into the challenging energy, constantly, right? And that makes a good life, basically, when you master that. I mean, it all starts with writing the mirror exercise down and then slowly getting there, right? But really, I was just reminded of that, it can be really light and joyful, even the most challenging situations. Sitting with Jeff and Shaleia in class yesterday, they always exude this lightness and this, everything is good, all is well. And you're just moving through it. You're just feeling your feelings here. You're just going deeper. And God has you. Jeff shares this in the open forum, God has you in the palm of his hand. And yeah, every dark moment is over eventually. And then you see, there's the light again. My persistence brought me through once again. And now I have like +1 persistence, +1 faith. And I'm successful. Once again, I cannot fail with God.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's true. You cannot fail if you keep moving forward. I mean, the only failure is when you stop. That's a quote. Although I wanted to say, because I know a lot of people, they are like, with what, to resonate with what you share, Fabian, like they are like, oh, I do a lot of healing, a lot of things, but I see no thing in the physical, nothing changed. Like my twin flame is not here, like I still have no money, no job or something, they don't have the thing in the physical yet. Well, Jeff and Shaleia, they always say that if you put a lot of energy in healing something, a lot of energy somewhere, and you don't have results, well, there's only two options. Or you're putting all your energy in the wrong place, where God doesn't ask you to do, or you're putting a lot of energy to manifest something huge.
Investment.
Yes, it's investment. A like harmonious union is something huge like that. Well, life purpose is something, well, it requires some energy, some investment first, but you have just to trust and surrender that, well, you will have it. And you will have it because there is no other possibility, because you're choosing it. That's it.
Amen. Yeah, I think it was members of my discussion group that shared something like, I think it was Francine. Hello, if she watches. She shared about like manifesting and how she watched a movie about manifesting an elephant. And for me, what I took from that was that you cannot manifest an elephant like terms like heavy animal out of thin air, like with the snap of a finger. And so, yeah, it just takes time to show in your reality. And so it just shows that the focus should not be there. The focus should be on how you feel. And yeah, I think it was Jeff and Shaleia as well that shared about like God would not deprive you of the joy of accomplishing this yourself. So of taking the steps of the journey to have your goal. Like it wouldn't have any purpose to have a goal like just like that, because you asked like you must have the strength to work towards it, and God gives you that strength. And that's how the universe works. And so, yeah, the more you accept that, the more you can enjoy like your life, have a joyful life, and face everything, every challenge with peace. Yes.
And know that God is taking each step with you, literally holding your hand. So even if things look a certain way, it's safe. Just move forward.
Yeah, if you persist, it's always calm. I mean, I have a story about that. It's I mean, the people in the community that know me, they know that because I'm healing about having money since 2 years, like for 2 years, like everyone know about that. And it started with the healing upset with health insurance, with a system, stuff like that. And I think like I was like for 1 year and a half, I was healing about having my reform for health insurance. Like everyone in the community that know me knew about that because it was like thing that always come, that always like asked support to heal that. I was healing like a lot on that, really a lot. Like yeah, for 1 year and a half or something. And finally, I just persist because it's like it was my money. They have to reform me. There is no other way. That's like that, and I claim that. Or just taking like every step at the time. And sometimes I was like, okay, you can just give up, that's fine, I can just give up. And finally, we're like, no, I will not. I want my money. That's essential. I pay them. I deserve that as my money. And I just keep going, keep going, keep going. And finally, after, they refund it. Like I really felt when I was healing the last layer, the last block, it was like, oh, they will refund me. I know it. It was so like, just so obvious. I had absolutely no doubt. Just like, before I was kind of healing the doubt, that I have, that I will have it. And when I finally heal all the doubt I will have, well, I got it. I think 2 days after it arrived in my bank account, I didn't know how. You know, I expected that I needed to call them or something like that. No, it just arrived like that. So it's really like you're healing that the doubt you have. But it's that in your mind. That's why it's important when we were saying before to don't follow your mind, because you will go nowhere with that, absolutely nowhere. You have to just go to this place within yourself that you trust, that you are sure and so persuaded that you will have it, because it's like that. It's like, you know, like you are thirsty and you want water. Well, you know you will have water because maybe you live, if you live in like a flat or something like that, well, you know you have water. You just open the
Faucet.
yes, that you open that and you got water, and that's it. You know, you have no doubt about that. What you just have to heal to go in this place where you have no doubt that what you desire, you will have it. Period.
Yeah. Yeah, Renato was talking about his dreams and his dream life, and it reminded me of me and my childhood. Like, as far as I can remember, I had always had a desire to be an artist. And like, if I was to follow my mind and people around me, I think I would be I think I would be a doctor, honestly, which would be horrendous for me. Like, this is not my life purpose. I can't do that. But like, you know, I persisted, and you know, the opportunity to be an artist came from the very last place I could ever think about. And it's because, yeah, I just stayed with my desire, and I was sure that at some point I was gonna make something, and God showed me the way. Like, he came through, not in the way I expected, but yeah, he came through, and it was even better.
Ain't that the truth? It was even better every time. And I think we've really, like, you know, drilled the point home that persistence is the source of persistence is only in the heart. It's not something that can come from the mind. And so if people are feeling really stuck on their twin flame journey, on their life purpose journey, on, you know, their healing journey in any place of their life, you know, I just ask you to, you know, drop into your heart space and feel your feelings and be present with whatever is there. And if you know the mirror exercise, continue on with steps, you know, 1 through 4, meet with your coach, you know, claim your support and move through it, and claim your persistence there. And if you don't know the mirror exercise, well, you know, there's plenty of resources to know that too, to help you to get in tune with your heart so you can claim that persistence for yourself and move forward.
Yeah.
And you can find it in the book, Twin Flames, Finding Your Ultimate Lover, Fabian just showed. Someone, I'm sure, in the comments in Facebook can post the link to the Amazon to buy the book. If you already have the book, it's chapter 5. And, you know, there's also many other resources. Don't be shy. There is so much here to support you. It's safe to be in your heart. It's safe to feel your feelings. It's safe to move through whatever is there, even if it feels really heavy and really hard. There is support here for you so that you can move forward.
And this spiritual process of feeling your feelings, being persistent there, it works everywhere, you know, no matter where you are in the universe, it works. And there's nothing separate from that mechanic. So I was always thinking, yeah, I mean, I feel my feelings, I guess I heal my twin flame relationship, but out in the world, when I'm out there, you know, I gotta go back to the old way, right? No. Like being present in my heart and feeling feelings, arriving at peace before taking any action is also the way to go in the world, you know. And I remember a situation where I was talking to a big company, you know, about this problem that we experience with the book actually, which should not be there, you know? And I always felt like, man, these support people, they don't really help me, you know, they don't really fix the problem. So what do? I felt powerless. I called them over weeks, almost every day, kinda, you know, talk to so many different support people. And they were always like, yeah, it's being resolved. It should be resolved within a day. Nothing changed though, right? And I just stayed with it. I persisted. I did not give up. I was tempted many times to give up and to be like, ah, man, I guess there's nothing we can do. I tried, right? But that would have been a bad deal and a compromise. And we are learning through Jeff and Shaleia, we never have to accept a bad deal, only good deals, only divine deals where everyone wins. The big company, they would have also lost there, you know, but by persisting, feeling my feelings, receiving support from my coaches, I really felt that one moment where there was like this opening in my heart. And I felt like, wow, this is different now. This block is clear. And then I called them one more time and I talked to this person that was extremely peaceful and so helpful and so loving and so beautiful and helped me completely with all the things, you know, and then the thing was actually resolved. And that made me see and experience and really feel what it means to feel your feelings, to move through the energies, and then what really comes out of that in my life, like really success. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. I like what you talked about there about basically healing your relationship with a company. And so they were able to serve you. And you called and you claimed your power in that place and you persisted through the spiritual work, through feeling your feelings and being present in your heart at all times. And I can't help but to see, like, it reminds me so much of, you know, our Black Lives Matter discussion that we have. And I think this is, like, I'm American, so you know, seeing what we're working through in America right now on a cultural level and societal, like all the different topics, everything's coming up right now. So much change is happening. And quarantine is allowing really a lot of people to finally feel their feelings about a lot of stuff. And I really love how we have like this beautiful group coming together every single week to talk about Black Lives Matter and help to move through feelings, to heal, and to create real change. And you can, like, I don't know if you've been, seen in the news, but there's some real change happening in America right now. And like we all did that together. You know, like we are one consciousness. We chose. And it started with the first person to make that choice and stay in their heart and say, this is a bad deal. And the way forward was not on the out through their mind, what can I do to fix this when I see this is happening and people are being disrespected and so many layers of oppression there. What was the solution? Where did we start? Claiming our power back here and feeling our feelings about it. And that persistence here, which made way for the rest to come together. Like you said, Fabian, how you just did your part. You persisted in your heart and your feelings. You moved through the anger, the frustration, whatever it was, and you used the mirror exercise to resolve that. And it actually allowed you to manifest and move through the physical very easily. And I can't help but to mention this while we're here and while everything's happening in the US right now. You know, a country that is very near and dear to my heart, even though I live in Switzerland now, I will always be American in my heart. And history repeats itself when we don't fully emotionally process what happened before. And so like we're getting our chance now to just everybody. This is why persistence in your heart and your feeling space is so important. And really like the culmination of everything, the entire sermon, the card reading, the introduction, and everything each and every one of us have said here has really brought it to is your power lies in your heart and your feeling space. Stay there, persist there, move forward. And when you do, the steps in the physical, the real ones will be presented to you and you take them there. And you're able to actually resolve things instead of the loop, constantly going around in the loop of the same stuff over and over and over again. Now in our financial, for example, for our financial foundation, we have completely shifted our financial vibration. And now we're not living in that, that survival mode in finances anymore. We actually just got a new couch, and our entire house right now is being upgraded, and every single room.
New house.
It feels like a new home. And Fabian, you were able to resolve the book issue in your relationship with that company, which I will not name. You guys both benefited from that interaction, and even the book got the love it deserved in that place, right? So it's like so clear to me from everything that we've talked about how persistence is easy when you recognize where to be persistent here in your feeling space.
I love this. I love pieces of what you both shared, Fabian and Stephanie. Like it's so important to remind everyone of that, because like what I see around me is like a lot of life coaches. I actually worked in the communications department of a life coach. Was during that conference with like companies, and it was a lot of like the power of the brain, the mental strength, and like going transcending the survival mode, but going with a lot of violence, like confronted life like head on. I was like, yeah, kind of, but it's kind of superficial. Because the truth is, he did not give up, but he had successes one at a time, like very short-lived successes, I guess, and had to do them over and over again. Yes. Whereas, like healing from the heart, healing the relationship with other people, with life itself, like once you do that, it's done. Like it's what we were talking about from the very beginning about harmonious union. It's like once you have it, it's done. It's a done deal because you have healed there. And your reality has completely shifted, and it's not superficial. It's so deep. It's so beautiful. And so persistence is not about how much I guess suffering you can endure to show to other people that you are capable of that. It's just like this like peaceful setting into your heart that just like notifies you that, hey, this is healed, like you can move forward. And yeah, this is just the voice of God.
Yeah, it's when you change the feeling you have within yourself that it changes your reality. But it's yes, you have to feel yourself first. It's really that. When you feel that, when you feel this vibration within you, well, automatically it's like manifesting the physical. So yes, it's really about your feelings.
And I think that the mind has a place, you know, there's important there too, because, you know, as Jeff talks about, you know, your mind, like your feelings help to bring, to attract your reality towards you, but your mind creates it. It's what you have in your mind. And that's why we work to not only, you know, that's why we, in Jeff and Shalea's classes, it's not simply like just crying. It's also teaching. I'm learning. My mind is being filled with truth of reality. But that only matters and that can only do anything and grow and expand on a foundation of love in your emotions, in your feeling space, right? Like if like Yuri, like you said, how it's so superficial. If you don't have this handled, trying to constantly change your mind and do, like, for example, trauma work, which is here. It's so superficial, and you end up going like this, yeah, because it needs a foundation. It can't actually be planted and grow into anything. The seed lays on barren land, and so it dries out and dies. I mean, you don't have the fruits, the spiritual fruits. So this is why this is so primary. Yeah, it reminds me of what Renato brought up in the sermon today, and it's something Jeff and Shaleia talk about all the time, is how do you measure your success? Well, success is measured in, are you moving through what's in front of you right now? And many times that's what's in front of you is that a feeling. Are you moving through the feeling that you're feeling right now? What are you feeling right now? Are you moving through it? Are you feeling sad? Are you feeling it? Are you moving through it? Are you loving yourself there? Are you feeling grief? Are you moving through it? Are you angry? Are you triggered? Are you moving through it? So many times we think of that as there's something physically in my way. Am I moving through it? No, here. So we forget to look sometimes, and it's primary. Number one. So I just wanted to bring that up. Bring a little piece.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And, you know, I just have it in front of my inner eye, how Laurentia and Alexandra had to laugh at one point in the pre-sermon, so to speak. And I don't know, this is just stuck to me, and was a beautiful like moment in the Sunday service today. And yeah, it's emphasizing that, you know, that whole thing is light, if you choose for it to be light, you know. And training yourself in persistence is automatic, it's natural. If you just live life, there's a high probability, you know, that you encounter challenging situations. And, you know, you are being shaped and honed by God's hand into the person that He created you to be. And I ask myself, well, how can I cultivate persistence? Well, I just allow the shaping to be done, you know, and just allow God to create in my life and to follow Him. And He will take care of everything. And eventually my persistence grows and success occurs.
Amen.
So how are you guys feeling right now?
I feel we kind of say everything we
Yeah, I feel
around
really
the topic.
Do we have access to the comments in the live Facebook? Do you want to maybe check those and see if anyone asked any questions or said anything?
It's quiet in there. We see Chrissy saying hello to everyone, and Renato sharing the link where you can learn more about the book, you know, and that seems to be it for the moment.
Okay. Very cool.
Right. So yeah, I think we can wrap this up. Feels pretty complete.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was an awesome discussion. I really liked it. And yeah, thank you to everyone who watched the sermon and the after church tea time. Yeah, if you want to watch other discussions, like head over to our YouTube channel and yeah, consider supporting us by watching and by donating and showing your experiences too in the comments. So thanks again and have a good rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Bye.